Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my favorite go-to meat alternatives out there. Now a few weeks ago I did do a video very much like this with all of my favorite dairy alternatives out there. I will link that below in case you missed it. And on that video I'd mentioned that I could do one like that for meat alternatives, and many of you wanted to see that, and so that's what we're gonna do today. I did again take my notes. I did. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please do give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Now I figured I would do it just like I did before, and I will put pictures up here of the items that I'm talking about. Feel free to take a screenshot if you want, so the next time you are shopping you have a reference and you guys can try some of these items out. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it. All right, so let's start with burgers. I have two that come to mind right off the bat, and I would not be surprised if you have already tried them, and if not tried them, at least have heard of them at this point. They have been out for a little while. I will say my all-time favorite is the Impossible Burger. I love it. I wanna say my very, very first time ever trying it was from Cheesecake Factory, and I believe they still carry it. Obviously, many of us have not been to a restaurant in quite some time, but I think they still do, but I just remember that was my first time trying it and I was truly blown away. I really was. The problem was at the time, because this was a few years back, they did not have it like in stores where you could purchase it, at least for us where we were, and that was really sad. And then as time went on, we also saw that Burger King actually launched selling the Impossible Burger there, and so it was starting to become more popular, and then finally it made its way into stores. And now pretty much, my friends, you can find the Impossible meat. Some of them are already done in like patty form, and then sometimes it's in like kind of a ground beef packaging, like a pound, we'll say, and you can obviously form your own. Some places don't have both varieties, some do, but I highly recommend getting your hands on it. It is incredible. And I will tell you now, about, gosh, maybe like 5-6 months ago, maybe even a little longer, Trader Joe's started carrying it, in fact. And again, it's in like the grounds, not the already preformed ones. I can tell you Grocery Outlet has the preformed ones. Walmart now carries it. Whole Foods, I believe, has it. So many places do have it now, and it's so amazing. I am telling you, if you are looking for, the true fake out, especially for someone that maybe doesn't eat plant-based already, that is your go-to. It is incredible. Season it up like you normally would with any other, ground beef that you had used before. Just treat it the same and you will be blown away. It's so good. I think that's a really good point too, to just be had with a lot of these things that I'm going to mention. Sometimes what happens when you're coming from eating regular meats, that the look of something might just kind of turn you off from it and be like, no, it's not going to be like the real thing. We've all fell into that before, but I feel like just treat it like regular meat. Again, if you're coming from that, treat it the same way, season it the same way, and I bet you will be very shocked with some of these items. All right, number 2 for burgers, I'm gonna go ahead and just say it, the Beyond Burgers. I love them. They are very easy to find now. Costco even carries them as well, but pretty much everywhere does, and this kind of falls in line too with their grounds as well. Most of the time, the Beyond Burgers you will find already in the burger form, but they again do have it in like a ground beef as well. I really like it. I do think Beyond Meat in general does have a distinct flavor, and you'll get really familiar with that distinct flavor that it has, and you'll be able to pinpoint it out. You really will. With that said, Carl's Jr. does carry it now, and it's really good there. It is, but you'll know once you've had it even homemade, and then you get one there, you'll be like, yep, it's the Beyond Burger. You just know. Whereas that Impossible one, it's crazy. It really is. That one is like really a true fake out, in my opinion. It is. So those are my 2 go-tos for that. Now moving on to like ground meat, just in general, there are a lot on the market. There are, in fact, again, the Impossible and Beyond Meat being one of those. But on top of that, some of my favorite go-tos is the Trader Joe's beefless, they call it beefless crumbles, and it's in the refrigerated section, not frozen, kind of over by all their other vegan friendly items, and it is so good. It really is. I think it's good on its own, but again, add more seasonings to it and you're good to go. You can treat it like regular grounds and put maybe like a taco seasoning and you got tacos, you know? Or if you want to take like the whole other side and kind of make like a pasta dish with like a meat sauce, it's great for that too. I feel like it's super universal, it's very affordable, and I love it. I've had that now for many, many years and I still go to it. Another one too, I feel like is really good, and again, easy to find. You can pretty much find Gardein anywhere, and their beefless crumbles I really like too, and those are in the frozen section of wherever your grocery store carries the meatless alternatives. You'll find that there. It's so good. It really is. All right, veggie patties. So going a little bit different than, you know, a true trying to fake out ground beef burger, but an actual veggie patty. I think you guys already know, if you follow me, what I'm gonna say, although this one does kind of fall into the line of veggie patty meets turkey burger. Maybe it's more turkey, but still, I'm gonna just kind of include it for both. And that is the Boca patties, the Boca turkey patties. They're incredible. And I'm not even really making this video for the sake of like giving you really healthy options or anything. I'm just giving you alternatives, but I know this one. And this is my favorite, not only for flavor, but also for nutritional value even. They are so great and macro friendly. They really are. I love them. I eat them weekly and have for years. What's cool too is they are also very, very affordable, and they can be found at many, many different places. They are kind of the OG. That's what I always tell you guys when I do haul them. They've been around forever. The only thing to be a little bit careful of is they have, and if I'm saying it correctly, it's the American Fire Grilled burger or something, and that one is vegetarian, not vegan. So just be careful of that. I'll put a picture here of what I'm talking about, and this one is not vegan. But the original turkey patty is, and it's one of my like all-time favorites. But if you're looking again for a true veggie patty that, you know, is kind of just loaded with either like a quinoa, rice, you'll see so many different ones now, loaded with veggies. I really like the Don Lee Farms one. I think those are really, really good. You can find those at Costco most of the time. They actually just launched a little while back of like making them into like little bite form now too. They have both. And then also that brand has the black bean patties as well. And I really like those if you're looking for something like that instead. But I'm gonna kind of lump that still into like a veggie patty for you guys. Those are my favorites. Now I put on my list here turkey, and this is kind of an interesting one for me. Again, the Boca patty kind of technically would fall in line to that, but overall, I don't feel like there's a ton on the market, and correct me if I'm wrong, that is really like catered to alternatives for turkey. Tons for chicken, right? But not necessarily for turkey. I do have a couple that stand out though, and I put it on here, and it's the Trader Joe's turkeyless patties. I love them. They came out probably about a year ago, and they're one of my absolute favorites. I really, really go to those a lot. In fact, I have one left in my fridge right now. I might have it today. And again, Trader Joe's. And don't be fooled though, because right next to it, they do have their beefless patty, and then they kind of come in very similar packaging, and they look like if you're gonna like one, you'll probably like the other even, and that is not the case for me personally. I am not a big fan of the beefless patty from Trader Joe's. I'm really not. But again, that turkey one is delicious. But aside from that one, the only other thing that's like a turkey product for like, you know, a turkey breast, we'll get into deli meat here in a second, but is the Gardein turkey cutlets. They're very good, they are, but otherwise I don't really know of any other ones. Nothing else is really standing out to me. So I do recommend the Gardein turkey cutlet as well. I believe they even come with a gravy as on the side if you want to use that, but I've had it either way. Very good. All right, deli meat. This is actually another one though that, again, kind of going to the turkey side, that's going to be my favorite, but I feel like there's not technically a lot on the market. It's tofurkey for me. Love it. You guys know too, if you've been following my hauls, especially this year, it's pretty much made my hauls weekly, and I've been on such a kick of making my wraps. You know the drill. I love it. Now they have a hickory smoked one. They have another one that looks very similar, and then just not as smoky. And then they have a peppered one too. They're all very good. I kind of just get what's available. Again, this is a brand that is very easy to find at most places, but Trader Joe's does have it as well. So I stock up there. Whole Foods has it. pretty much everywhere has it. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. But again, aside from that, for deli meats, there are a few that are kind of ringing a bell to me that I've seen, but they're vegetarian and not vegan. So I haven't technically had them, or, you know, can give you much more feedback on some other ones out there. That's what's standing out to me. So that's my personal go-to. All right, sausage. Let's go to sausage. Now I'm going to kind of link this all together. There's of course like breakfast link sausages, or the little breakfast patties. And then there's kind of like the hot dog sausages, right? And for me personally, a lot of you know this, sausage in general has never really been my thing. I just never really went to it, even pre-vegan. I don't know, it wasn't really a favorite for me. But I will say, and Nate would back me up, my husband, on this one, the Beyond Meat sausages, the big kind of hot dog type style ones, are very, very good. They have a ton of flavor, and again, pretty easy to find too. They cook up well, whether you're doing it on your stovetop or even on a grill. I really do recommend them if you, again, you like sausage. But on a breakfast side of things, I actually, again, I'm not a fan really typically of sausages like that, but I do have one and I would eat it often, really, because I do really like it, is the Gardein maple flavored breakfast sausages. Oh my gosh, those are incredible. They're amazing. I love them. They have them in different flavors. They have a spicy, an original. Get the maple. The maple is so, so good. So those are my go-tos definitely for the sausages. But again, there are a ton on the market. There really are. But again, sound off for me and my friends that have some favorites, because I just don't feel like I'm actually like the best to tell you on this one. Okay, next one, bacon. And I feel like this kind of falls in line with what I said on the dairy video that I did, where a lot of people are like, yeah, I could eat plant-based. I think I don't really eat a lot of meat, but what about cheese, right? And then I think there's the other people too that go, but what about bacon? It's just that popular one, right? And I will tell you, until literally a week ago, there has been nothing that really blew me away for bacon. That's the truth. I do have some go-tos, of course, but it's not that it's ever really blown me away. And that first one is the Sweet Earth Ones Benevolent Bacon. Very, very good, but I wouldn't say it really takes on that, texture of bacon. It's going to be a hard one to mimic, of course, but it's still good. It is. And so I do go to it from time to time when I'm wanting that smoky flavor. With that said, by the way, most things that make something kind of taste like bacon is liquid smoke. You can actually buy liquid smoke, and you can actually kind of get creative, and you can douse some shredded coconut with it. You can do it on tofu, and you can cook that up, and it will take on a bacony smoked flavor. It will. And you'll notice that even in the mock meats that they have of trying to be bacon, it's always included in that. So there's a little tip for you if you did not know. But definitely the benevolent bacon is very, very good. Light Life also has, I believe it's called like Smart Bacon. Also pretty good, but I would say very similar to the benevolent one. And again, these brands are pretty readily available as well. But again, about a week ago, I came upon, and you guys know, I call it my Play-Doh bacon now, because it really isn't the most appealing thing to me in the package. It looks like Play-Doh met a lobster, and they called it bacon. And it's by Hooray Foods, and I believe it's a newer brand. The bad thing with this right now is I don't know how readily available it is. I just found it at our local Whole Foods here, again, a week ago, and it was new even to our store. In fact, they didn't even have a price tag out for it yet. So we'll see as it goes, but I have to tell you, my friends, it was absolutely amazing. And the texture was the closest thing I have really had since eating bacon. It's crazy. I actually just shared it on my last vlog. In fact, if you want to even see it in action, but I got to tell you too, the next day we cooked up the rest of it, and Nate actually wasn't super blown away like I was at first with it. He liked it, but he was like, yeah, okay, it's good, but it's missing something. That's what he said. I was like, you're wrong. But he actually, when it was almost done being cooked, if you get your hands on this, please do it, because he is right. It made it even 100 times better. But he put a little bit of maple syrup in the pan, again, when it was almost done being cooked, and then put a sprinkle of coarse salt on top. That's perfect. That is amazing. So I will definitely get it again. It is a little pricey so far, but I feel like because maybe it is, like I said, a newer item, it'll probably come down in time. And hopefully it does really well because it's definitely pretty incredible what they've come up with for bacon. Next one, I kind of could have put this maybe with sausages, but hot dogs, actual hot dogs. My kiddo is gonna vouch for me on this one. He loves the Light Life Smart Dogs. Those are pretty much all we buy now because those are just his favorite. Again, hot dogs, I guess you can crave it here and there, but like I, again, wasn't like really into them before, so I haven't felt the need to really go out and try so many, but my kid likes them and he really likes those ones. And again, you can find those pretty much anywhere, including Trader Joe's, Walmart, think Whole Foods too. They're pretty much everywhere. Target too, when I say a lot of these, they've really stepped up what they carry for meat alternatives too. All right, now we're gonna dive into all things chicken because that's a big one, right? And there's so many different varieties out there of whether you want wings or slices or nuggets or chicken breast or whatever it is, right? So I got you covered, I think. But I made all my notes here and I even circled it. I'm like, how can I talk about meatless alternatives and somehow not include these two items? And I guess they would fall kind of into the chicken realm, but they're also just on their own too. But I have to talk about them. Seitan. How can I make a video and not talk about seitan? I love seitan. It is so good in my opinion. I would say maybe it's closest to a chicken flavor, I guess. I don't know, but I want to just mention Seitan to you, and I do have a favorite brand, hands down. I'll link them below. You guys know Blackbird Foods is incredible, but I also really like the Sweet Earth ones, and those are more readily available in stores too. So good, fantastic protein, and I really like the flavor. The con of Seitan though is it is literally made from a wheat gluten, and so if you are someone who does eat gluten-free, you're going to definitely want to stay away from that. But otherwise, please try Seitan out. Even if you're new to this lifestyle, I think you will really love it. I personally like to use it on pizzas, whether you're making a fresh one all from scratch, or even if you find a frozen one, add even more Seitan to it. It's good. It's wonderful. Now the next one, again, and I personally think of it like chicken, if you will, is tofu. How can we make a video like this and not talk about tofu, right? Tofu, in my opinion, and most people will probably agree with this, tastes like nothing. Tofu has literally like nothing to it, right? And that's why I think a lot of people are like, tofu, but so does chicken. Chicken doesn't really taste like anything either until you season it, until you put sauce on it, whatever, bread it, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. So for me, tofu is a fantastic chicken alternative for you because again, you can season it to whatever you are making to make it come through with that flavor for you, you know? So I'm gonna recommend those for sure. Play around with it. My personal favorite way to have tofu is air fried. I love it. I love the texture. It's wonderful. All right, but we gotta share, of course, the things that you can already find in store and we'll fill that void for you. We do buy a lot of it. My husband specifically really enjoys so many of them out there. So let's start with the strips. Chicken strips, Gardein, what are they called? 7 grain, I'll put it here, chicken strips. He eats those often. He loves them. I think they're great too. I really do. I will tell you though, because it just kind of makes me think of it, Trader Joe's does have one that's very, very similar looking. And so of course we purchased it many times thinking it was gonna be like the Gardein one. And it is, but I still think Gardein wins. It's really, really good, my friends. It is, it has great texture to it. Dunk it in your favorite sauce and you are good to go. That is just my favorite out there for sure. Now for nuggets, there are tons on the market. There really is. I like the Alpha Foods nuggets. Those ones you can find pretty much at Sprouts and I believe possibly Walmart too. Very, very good. Boca actually, I say used to, but maybe they still do. It's just been harder to find, but they carried a chicken nugget too. Really, really good. But again, this is one of those where I feel like many brands have launched a chicken nugget alternative and they're all really good. They really are. Actually, you know what? This is kind of a newer one, but yet not new at all. Morning Star. This is a brand that I have had a good handful now of their things, but not until more recently, because they used to be pretty much, I think anyway, a vegetarian brand, but not vegan. And so I kind of stayed away for a while. Now they're definitely making the switch, and they have a lot of vegan options too. And they still do have some vegetarian ones though. So that's just the thing with that brand in general. Double check, but they have some good ones as well for nuggets. They even have like a popcorn chicken one that's pretty good too. Now, barbecue chicken. Now I do have a favorite with this one, but I will say I think it might be a little bit difficult to find. I remember it launched maybe early last year, or even maybe the year before that, but it's called Better Chew, and it's only at Whole Foods that I know of, and they are based out of Oakland, California, which is about like 3 hours from us, and I think that's why we did get it here. And so again, I'm not sure how wide their reach is. Their like alternative meats are incredible, but they do have, again, like a barbecue chicken, and that one is really, really good, really good. Now, chicken wings, that is one that I don't feel like there's a ton out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just, nothing's really coming to mind, but there is one, and it's by Field Roast, and it's the Fruffalo, if I'm saying that right, wings. And they're, honestly, I'm gonna share it with you because I think a lot of people could like them, and it could be a favorite. For me personally, they're kind of greasy, but it is an option. It is, and they're a little bit spicy. They are. And I think you can find that at Whole Foods actually as well. But overall, wings hasn't quite like stood out to me yet as like there's a favorite out there, you gotta try it. But I always keep my eye out. You know how we do. All right, so I mean, I feel like that's pretty much the main go-tos out there that most people would be purchasing for their meats typically. And I feel like these are really a good start to get you going to try out some plant-based ones. Please sound off in the comments your favorite things to a lot of these items of burgers and chickens and stuff like that out there. We'd love to hear it. This is how we learn. This is how we try new things. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so, so much always for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great, great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.